2nd-gen Camaro. So this is gonna be pretty cool. Alright, so before I start, make sure you all like the video, subscribe. So like the video, subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell. So hit the notification bell and hit all alerts of when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so without any further ado, let's finish this. So the 1st-gen engines. Here we go. So starting off with the first one. So without any further ado, let's finish this. So the 1st-gen engines. Alright, here we go. So starting off with the first one is the starting off with the first one. Oh, jeez. Starting off with the first one is the 230. So let's do it. So the first one is the 230. So the first one is the 230. 3.8 liter engine. So the first three were from 1967 to 1969. So that's the 230, 250, and the 302. So starting off with the first one is the 230. So it's obviously from 67 to 69. The order code or engine code, I think it's supposed to be, is the L26. So for the 230, it was from 67 to 69. So from 1967 to 1969. Order code or engine code is L26. Engine name is Turbo Thrift. It was a straight six, so inline six engine. It was a cast iron engine. Engine block is made from cast iron. So cast iron. Cylinder heads is cast iron cylinder head with 2 valves per cylinder. Sometimes I mean to do that. So valve train is overhead valve with a gear drive. Displacement was a 3.8 liter 230 inline six, obviously. The bore and stroke was 3 point. You can barely see from this distance because I put 1967 to 1969. Order code or engine code L26. So engine code L26. Engine name Turbo Thrift. Type inline 6. Cast iron engine block with cast iron cylinder head with two valves. Cast iron cylinder head with 2 valves per cylinder. Valve train was overhead gear drive. The valve train was overhead valve with gear drive. Displacement, it was a 3.8 liter 230 inline 6. Bore and stroke was 3.875. It was I can barely see, so 90. 98.4 by 82.6 millimeters. That's 3.875. So 3.875. So 3.875 to 3.25 inches. And the bore and stroke. Ow. Power output was at 4,400 RPM. 140 horsepower. It's at 140 horsepower. It's at 4,400 RPM. 140 horsepower. So not a lot, but it's at 140 horsepower. It's at 4,400 RPM, 140 horsepower, and at 1,600 RPM, 220 pound-feet. So 220 pound-feet, 290, almost 300 newton meters of torque at 1,600 RPM. So, yeah, 1,600 RPM. Compression ratio for both is 8.5 to 1. Fuel type was so compression ratio was 8.5 to 1. Fuel system was obviously a one barrel carburetor. So 1 barrel carburetor system. Next is a 250. Same year, just an L22. Same engine name. Same engine type. Same engine block. Same from 67 to 69. So this time an L22. Not the L26, but the L22. Turbo Thrift inline 6 cast iron cylinder head, 2 valves per cylinder. Same overhead valve gear drive, but this time it's been bored out to 4 liters. So it's a 4 liter 250 inline 6. The bore is exactly the same, but the stroke is slightly increased to 3.531 inches. Say 3.531 inches. 89.7 millimeters. And it's got an increase in power output this time up from 44 to 40. from 44 to 4,200 RPM. It made an extra 15 horsepower more. So from 140 to 155 horsepower. It's not bad. Also, increased power equals increased torque. Say I made 155 horsepower at 4,200 RPM. And this time at the same 1,600 RPM, it made 235 pound-feet, 319 newton-meters of torque. Pretty good. Same compression ratios. Same compression ratio, 8.5 to 1. Excuse me. Same fuel system. It was a 1-barrel carburetor. Now let's get down to the nitty. So let's get down to the nitty and gritty. Not many people say that. I was like, whoa, way past. Sorry, I can just barely open my eyes because I felt something in my eye. And my eyes just stinks. They stink like hell. I can barely see. God, I would get this done faster if I could see. So yeah, 155 horsepower at 4,200 RPM, 235 pound-feet, 319 newton-meters of torque at 1,600 RPM, 8.5 to 1, and 1-barrel carburetor. Alright, now that we got the inline sixes out of the way, next is the proper engines, the V8s. Let's do it. So, starting off with the first V8 is the 302. Same year, but it's a C28, and it's the first 4 versions. It's like the 302, 307, 327, and 350 were all small block turbo fire Chevy. So there were small block turbo fire Chevy V8s. Starting off with the first one is obviously the 302 from 1967 to 1969. Obviously same year. It's a C28, so it's a turbo fire small block Chevy V8. Same cast iron, pretty much most of them are cast iron probably. So it's a cast iron cylinder head with 2 valves. So a cast iron cylinder head with 2 valves per cylinder has been increased to 5 liters. So the bore and stroke was 4 by 3 inches. So 4 by 3 inches. 101.6 by 76.2 millimeters. And it had a huge increase in power. Like almost double the amounts from the straight 6 from the 250. So 4 by 3 inches, 101.6 by 76.2 millimeters. It made at 5,800 RPM a colossal 290 horsepower. Pretty good, almost 300 horsepower. That's pretty damn good. So 290 horsepower at 5,800 RPM. And at, let's see, 4,200 RPM, 290 pound-feet, 393 newton-meters of torque. So 393 newton-meters of torque. So I have 4,200 RPM. So 4,200 RPM, 290 pound-feet, 393 newton-meters of torque. Compression ratio was 11 to 1. Fuel system was this time instead of 1 barrel, it's now a 4-barrel carburetor. was the C28. So that's the C28 done. Next is the L14. So this is for the three. So this is for the three. So this is for the. So this is for the. This is for the 307 V8 from January 1969. This time an L14. Same turbo fire, small block Chevy V8. Same cast iron nonsense. Say 307, January 1968, L14. Say 307, January 1969, L14. Turbo fire, small block Chevy V8, cast iron, with a cast iron cylinder head, 2 valves per cylinder. This time it's been increased to 5 liters. It was 98.4 by, so 98.4 by 82.6 millimeters. So that's 3.875 to 3.25 inches. And it made like almost 100 horsepower less at 4,000. At 4,600 RPM. It made just only 200 horsepower, so not so much after all. However, had an increase in torque, an extra 10 pound-feet, 14 newton meters. So it went up at 2,400 RPM this time to 300 pound-feet, 407 newton meters of torque. Compression ratio was 9-1. This time with a 2-barrel carburetor. Next is the mighty 327. So 327, it was until December 1968. So this is for the LFs. So LF7. Same turbo fire, small block, Chevy V8, cast iron. Same cast iron cylinder head, 2 valves per cylinder. This time, it's been increased to 5.3 liters. Board stroke was 4 by. So it was 101.6 by 82 points. So 101.6. So 101.6 by 82.6 millimeters. 4 by 3.25 inches. With a slightly increase in power at the same RPM as previously. It made 210 horsepower this time. Slightly increase in power equals slightly increase in torque. It made 320 pound-feet, 434 newton meters of torque. Same 2400 RPMs. This time compression ratio was slightly decreased to 8.75-1. Same 2-barrel carburetor system. Next. Next is another 327 V8. Same December 1968 year, but this time it's an L30 version. Same exact turbo fire, small block Chevy V8, cast iron. So same exact bore and stroke. This time a whopping increase in power from 210 up to a monstrous 275 horsepower. Same exact RPM. What? Wait. Well, 200 RPM, 200 RPM increase from 4,600 to 4,800 RPM. So an extra 65 horsepower more than previously. Pretty good, pretty good. So 65 horsepower more from 210 to 275. From 46 to 4,800 RPM. And it made at 3,200 RPM 355 pound-feet, 481 newton of torque at 3,200 RPM. Compression ratio was 10 to 1. So compression ratio was 10 to 1 with a 4-barrel carburetor system. Instead of the 2-barrel, it's back to a 4-barrel carburetor. Pretty good, yeah. Compression ratio 10 to 1. Fuel system, 4-barrel carburetor. Next. So that's the all-30 nut. Next is the 350 V8s. So the mighty 5.7 liter 350 V8s. Starting off with the first one, it's from December 1968. The LM1, same exact turbo fire small block Chevy V8 cast iron. Same exact cylinder head system, cast iron cylinder heads with 2 valves per cylinder. This time it's been increased to 5.7 liters. So 5.3 is now 5.7 liters. So LM1 turbo fire small block Chevy V8 cast iron with a cast iron cylinder head. So cast iron engine block with a cast iron cylinder head with 2 valves per cylinder. It's now 5.7 liter 350 V8. Bore and stroke is exactly the same. However, the stroke is increased to 3.48 inches, 88.4 millimeters. Unfortunately, has a slight decrease in power just by 20 horsepower with only 255 horsepower. Same exact RPM. However, it has a slight increase in torque though by just 10 pound-feet, 14 newton more. Same exact 3,200 RPMs as previously. 365 pound-feet. So 365 pound-feet, 495 newton of torque, almost 368 pound-feet, 500 newton of torque. Same exact torque as a Mark V Supra 6-cylinder. So 365 pound-feet, 495 newton of torque, 3,200 RPMs. Compression ratio was 9 to 1. Same exact 4-barrel carburetor system. Alright, next. So it's on the LM1. Next is another 350 from January 1969. The L65. Same exact engine name, so turbo fire small block Chevy V8. Cast iron. Same exact cylinder head system. And instead of an overhead valve gear drive, instead of like the first two, the V8s actually have an overhead valve with a timing chain. So on the LM1 or the L65 from January 1969 has an overhead valve with a timing chain. Same exact. Same valve drain and engine. Same exact. Bore and stroke. has a slight decrease in horsepower, just by 5 horsepower only, at 250 horsepower instead of 255. Same 4,800 RPM though. However, it has a slight decrease in torque, just by 20 pound-feet. Just by 20 pound-feet. 27 newton meters of torque at 345 pound-feet. So at 345 pound-feet, 468 newton meters of torque at 2,800 RPM instead of 3,200 RPM. Same exact compression ratio and fuel system. So I've done the L65. Next is another 350 V8. This is from December 1968. This is the L48. So L48 V8. Same exact turbofire small block Chevy V8. Same cast iron. Same exact cylinder heads. Valve train. Same overhead valve timing chain. So December 1968. Same exact 5.7 liter 350 V8. So from December 1968. Same displacement, same boring stroke. This time it made more power from 250 to extra 45 horsepower more to 295 horsepower. Same 4,800 RPMs now. However, it now has an increase in torque. Up to a monstrous 380 pound-feet, 515 newton meters of torque. This time at 3,200 RPM. So it has 45 horsepower more. And 35 pound-feet. 47 newton meters more. Wow, at 3,200 RPM. That's pretty good. Compression ratio was 10.25 to 1. And fuel system was a 2-barrel carburetor instead of the usual 4-barrel. Alright, and the last one is from January 1969. Same exact L48, turbofire, small block Chevy V8, cast iron, obviously, same exact cylinder head, valve train exactly the same engine size, 5.7 liter 350 V8, same bore stroke, but this time it had a slight increase in power, just by 5 horsepower. It made 300 horsepower dead on, same RPM though. Pretty good, same exact torque, but this time compression ratio was now 9 to 1, and this time it's back to a 4-barrel carburetor. Alright, next is the mighty 396. Starting off with the first one is from 67 to 69. It's an L35. This time it's now the turbojet big block Chevy V8. Same cast iron. Same exact overhead valve timing chain. This time it's a 396. That means it's a 6.5 liter V8. Pretty Say 6.5 liter 396 V8. Born stroke. Born stroke was obviously 104 by 95.5 millimeters, 4.094 to 3.76 inches. And it made 325 horsepower, same exact RPM as previously, and same exact RPM for torque as previously. It made this time at 410 pound-feet, 556 newton-meters of torque, pretty much the same as a F82 M4 BMW. So at 3200 RPM, 410 pound-feet, 556 newton-meters of torque. This time compression ratio was 10.25 to 1. Same 4-barrel carburetor. Next is another 396. This time from 1968. This time it's an L34. Same turbojet, big block, Chevy V8. Same cast iron system, same overhead valve system. Well, cast iron cylinder head. So cast iron cylinder head with 2 valves per cylinder. Same exact overhead valve with timing chain. Same engine displacement and same born stroke configuration. Like the first four, like the 396 V8s have the same exact displacement and born stroke, so I'm not gonna talk about that because it's obviously the same. This time it has an increase in power output and RPM. Extra 400 RPMs more. This time at 5200 RPM, and it made, so at 5200 RPMs, 350 horsepower. That's pretty good. Slightly increase in torque at 415 pound-feet, so 5 pound-feet more. To an extra 7 newton-meters more, which brings up to a total of 563 newton-meters of torque at 3400 RPMs. Extra 200 RPMs more. The compression ratio is the same, 10.25 to 1. I'm not going to do the carburetor type because it's obviously the same, 10.25 to 1. Say a 4-barrel carburetor, obviously. Oh, Jesus. Next is from 67 to 69. It's an L78. Turbojet big block Chevy V8. Obviously cast iron. It's an L78. It's a turbojet big block Chevy V8. Cast iron, same exact cast iron cylinder head with 2 valves per cylinder. Same exact overhead valve timing chain. It's an L78. Same exact 6.5 liters, same born stroke. This time with 375 horsepower at 5600 RPM, so 400 RPMs more, extra 25 horsepower more than previously. Pretty good, 375 horsepower at 5600 RPM, and same exact torque as previously. This time at 11 to 1. Ratio was the same exact 4-barrel carburetor. So that's the L78 done from 67 to 69. Now I got another one, last one for the 396 from 1968. This time it's an L78 and L78 and an L89. Same turbojet big block Chevy V8 cast iron, obviously, but this time it has an aluminum cylinder head with 2 valves per cylinder. Obviously, overhead valve timing chain. Same 6.5 liter 396 V8. Same exact bore and stroke. This time with pretty much the same exact power as well. So same power with RPM. So same 375 horsepower with 5600 RPMs. And at 3600 RPM, same 415 pound-feet, 563 newton meters of torque. Same exact compression ratio, obviously a 4-barrel carburetor. And that's the last one from the 396. And last but certainly not the very least we got is the big daddy of all, the 427 V8. That's right, 7 liter. So 7 liters. So we got 2. So they're both only from 1969. Starting off with the first one is obviously the Gobo 9561 L72 turbojet big block Chevy V8. Same exact cast iron engine block with this time with aluminum. Same aluminum cylinder heads with 2 valves per cylinder. Hence the name 427. It's a 7 liter V8. For bore and stroke, it's now 108 millimeters. 95.5 millimeters. 4.25 by 3.76 inches. This time with an extra 50 horsepower more, from 375 to 425 horsepower. Same one. Same RPMs though, so 425 horsepower. Pretty good. More power also increases more torque at 460 pound-feet. 624 newton meters of torque at 4,000 RPM. So an extra increase in 45 pound-feet. 61 newton meters. So 61 newton meters. 400 RPMs more. So from 36 to 4,000 RPMs. Compression ratio was now 12:1. Same exact 4-barrel carburetor system. Okay, and last but certainly not the very least, we got the final version of the 427 V8s. So let's finish this part, and then we'll be done with the first-gen Camaro, and then we'll do the second-gen version. So this one's obviously same 1969. This time it's a Gobo 9560 Seal 1. So Seal 1 this time. So it's obviously the big block Chevy turbojet V8. This time, however, so same V8. But this time its engine block is now, instead of cast iron, it's aluminum. So that made it much lighter. Pretty good. Same aluminum cylinder head. 2 valves per cylinder. This time it's the mighty 427. So it's a 7 liter V8. So a 7 liter 427 V8. Same exact bore and stroke as the previous 427 7 liter V8. This time it has an increased power output to at 430 horsepower, so 5 horsepower more than previously, but a 400 RPM decrease, so it went down from 5600 to 5200 RPM. So from 5600 has a slight decrease in torque, however, just by 10 pound-feet, 14 newton meters. So I mean 450 pound-feet. So 450 pound-feet. 450 pound-feet. 610 newton meters of torque. At this time at 4,400 RPM. So 4,400 RPMs. So 400 RPM increase. This is pretty cool. Compression ratio was slightly increased from 12 to 1 to 12.5 to 1. So 12.5 to 1. Say 12.5 to 1. And obviously the fuel system was obviously a 4-barrel carburetor system into it. Alright. And that is there we go. And that is officially it for the first gen Chevy Camaro. Pretty cool. Alright, so for my next Chevy Camaro video, Chevy Camaro video will be about the second gen Camaro, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Alright, so that'll be it. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe. Like like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you're alerted of when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so time is currently, what's the time now? Jeez, almost 12:30. What in the world? Alright, so 12:30, almost in the morning. Alright, so that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe. Have a great morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Jeez, almost 45 minutes. That's crazy. Alright, so I gotta go sleep. I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, stay safe. Have a great morning. And stay safe. Have a great morning. And have a great day. So have a great day. And I'll see you guys soon. In the next video. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys soon. Good night.